Yeah, so in today class we are going to learn tokenization and fuzzy match. In yesterday class we saw like how we can define the exact match, like we can come to base subject and we can recap the yesterday thing. So here we have match merge setup, and yesterday we are selecting some of the exact columns from customer tables, and we have defined the exact match rule. So today we are going to continue on this topic only, on the match merge setup itself, and we will try to learn apart from exact, as we know that we have fuzzy match also. So how we can implement fuzzy match and how we can configure that. So this topic we are going to cover today. So for fuzzy match, you have to come to base subject and then you have to come to match merge setup, same like exact. And in properties, here we need to change the strategy. Okay. So first time, suppose if you have defined exact, so let's keep it and let's see if we are able to add here. Let me take a right log first, acquire log. Yeah. So here we can come on properties and here we can see we are able to change this option. So I'm changing this to fuzzy. And here you can, if you have some population integrated for the different country, which will be having the additional license, then those all population set will show and you can select that population set for finding the better match candidate. So let's go to path. In path, we don't have, we have only one parent only for time being. And in match column, now if you want to define the fuzzy match, then you have to make sure that you have the fuzzy columns. So if you have defined these columns as exact columns, so these columns can be used in the fuzzy as well. Okay. But if you are defining the fuzzy match, let me show you. If you are defining the exact match, then you cannot use the fuzzy columns. Okay. So yesterday we had defined this match rule set. Here we can come and here we show that if you define and if you come here, it will only show the exact columns. Why? Because we had defined the exact match yesterday. Okay. Now let's come here. Let's define some fuzzy columns also. Okay. So suppose customer, I am taking fuzzy column and I'm giving a name like this is related to person name. Press OK. So this person name, just a minute. Let's delete this. So the table is CB cast. We don't have child of this. Okay. And here we can take a respective kind of field name. So this field name will help us to find the exact fuzzy tokens, like when we will run the tokenization. So on the basis of this data, we can select appropriate column. So just let's check, because this is the related to customer, so we can select person name, and here we can take customer name. The person name has been deleted. What is it saying? A column name, person name has just been deleted. Save the changes before. Okay, so we have to save first, and then we can add it. Or let me do one thing. ID, phone number, organization. Select the columns in a table that will be concatenated to create the match column. Okay. So first let's save it here. What is coming? The match key needs to be defined in order to, okay. So in previous classes here also we saw we need to define some key type. So key type, let's take person name. And here we know these are the different keywords. So once tokenization will run, then this keyword will come in picture and it will generate the number of tokens as per this configuration. Okay. So in usually we take the standard because in a standard it will generate kind of appropriate tokens. It will not generate higher and it will not generate less. And if you want to generate more, you can take extended. Okay. And if you want to generate very few tokens, then you can take preferred. So let's take a standard. And here we have the same table. So here this fuzzy match key already we have defined for person name. And let me take more attributes like department code as well, which is relation to the organization name. So here we have department code. Like here you can see actually if you we are kind of confusing like what is this organization name and what it contains. So you can come down and here basically it is taking the department code. Okay. So these columns are available and it is taking department code. If you want, you can take multiple column also in one kind of column, what you say, organization name or person name. So in organization name, if you want to take multiple column like this also, so you can take multiple columns. So once you refer this organization name, it will refer these three columns, okay, in backend. So for simplicity, we will take one column so that it will be easy for us to understand the concept. So in organization name, I'm just taking department code, and in person name, I'm taking only suppose customer name, okay. So here also you can take multiple columns in person name. So once you will use the person name in the match rule, then these three column will be referred or one column will be referred. Okay. So we had exact columns. Now we have defined some fuzzy columns also. Now let's save it. No fuzzy rules defined. Do you want to save? Yes. So it is saying you have defined some fuzzy columns, but you have not defined any fuzzy match rule. Okay. So now we can go to match rule set, and here let's delete this, which we had defined yesterday. What you say? Yesterday we defined the exact. Now we are going to define the fuzzy. So suppose this match rule set emerge we are giving related to person, and here we can give yeah. So here also search label. Okay. So this search label will be used once we will do the once it will find the match candidate. Okay. So the previous option which we saw was standard, preferred, limited, extended. Those all was just for generating the tokens. It will generate the tokens. Okay. But after generating tokens, now it will try to find the match candidate. Right. So let me go back. So this option basically is for the generating match tokens. Okay. Let's open the notepad plus plus desktop. Okay, so here we can come down. Yeah, so here I think this part we already covered in some classes. Yeah, this key width already we know. This the key width will be used while generating match tokens, generating match tokens once once tokenization job will start. Okay. So once tokenization job will start, then this will come in picture, and accordingly the number of tokens will be generated. Okay. Now once match job will start, it will try to find match candidates. Okay. On below configuration. Okay. So here for searching match candidates, match candidate means tokens here. No? Match candidates means tokens. Just tokens we have generated. So the tokens will be searched with the help of this configuration. Now this we know this is for generating the match tokens, and after generating match tokens, now this will be used for searching, means for finding the tokens, exact tokens for the same candidate, like for finding the match candidate. So here we have many options: typical, narrow, exhaustive, and extreme. Okay. So in extreme, it will find the it will try to find the highest tokens. Okay. In exhaustive, it will be less than extreme, and in typical, it will be less than exhaustive, and in narrow, it will be less. So in narrow, it will find very few match candidates. But if you are selecting extreme, it will try to find the highest number of possible candidates. Okay, so let's we can give the options are narrow, then typical, then exhaustive, narrow, typical, exhaustive, then we have extreme. So this sequence below is sequence from low to high match candidate. Below sequence will find low to high match candidate. Okay, so this will find low, this will find more, this will find more, and this will find the highest, like that. So this will find highest and this will find lowest match candidate. Okay, so these four options we have. This all things sometimes they ask in interview, so just we will remember this. So this option is used for while finding the match candidate. So suppose we are taking mostly we take a typical. So typical will be kind of a standard. So we take this. Enable search by rules. So this will see that this option. Now let's try to create some kind of rule. So here it is asking which rule you want to create. So we want to create fuzzy rule. Okay. And what is the purpose? Why this is? We'll see why this is actually disabled. So, ideally, it should be enabled. Okay. So let's see. So see, if you are going to define the fuzzy match, then you can see you are able to see your exact columns also. Okay. So that means suppose we want to take person name, and in person name we know that we have mapped the customer name, right? But person name we have taken as a fuzzy columns. Okay. So person, that customer name can be used in the fuzzy columns match rule. So we are taking person name from here, and suppose we are taking department name from here. So what is the mean? That means the department name should exactly match, but person name could probably match. Okay. So person name, if suppose there is a RAMESH Ramesh, there is a RAMES Ramesh only, so that it can match. But means if there is not exact match in name, so it will try to find the probable match. Okay. But department name should be same, because department name we are taking exact match. So there could be such scenario, right, while defining our match rules. So I'm taking this scenario here. And if you have defined some match columns here, then this is enabling. So here it is saying that what is the purpose of your match? So we want to find the individual details. That's why we are taking that. And match label. So match label here we are getting three options: typical, conservative, loose. Okay. So here in match label, let's take, we have three options here. Match labels. So in above option we saw here, it will find the match candidate, okay, on the basis of these options. But here what it will do, it will try to conclude, like suppose in extreme you have find 10 candidates. So out of 10 candidates, what should be actual match candidate? So that will be concluded on the basis of these match labels, okay. So here we have three options: typical, conservative, and loose. So we can give name like typical, conservative, and loose. So in conservative, we will have very less, let's give in sequence. In conservative, we will have very less tokens after selected. And in loose, we will have highest. Okay, in conservative, we will have less candidates. And in loose, we will have highest candidate. Okay. So once tokens will be searched after this process, then here it will be concluded, like out of those tokens, which one should be selected. So again, some filter will happen here out of on top of this, and then this will finally conclude the final tokens. Okay, so here we have these options. So here basically we always select typical. So let's take typical and accept limit adjustment. So this, like if you want to limit the number of tokens for some of the candidate, then that you can specify. Else if you are passing 0, then it will not restrict. It can take a number of tokens. Press OK. The following match column needs to be present in the rule for the purpose individual these. What it is showing, the following match rule. The following match columns needs to be present in the rule for the purpose individual person name ID CC date. Here we have selected the individual, right? So okay, person name, let's take person name because while defining the person name we have taken the person name, right? So better to take person name. So here we can see the type here is showing fuzzy, and here again this this is indicator is for auto merge. Okay, so this if it is auto merge, no, it will not go in auto merge, it will go in manual merge queue. And if you want to make it auto, if you want to make it yes, here you have to click. Okay, if you want to make no, here push down. If you want to make yes, so here you can make yes, right? So like we can change the this logic, like how you how it should go for manual merge or it should go for auto merge. Okay, we have taken the columns. Now let's try to save this. So our main job is to find the match candidate only. Okay, if you have the match candidate, then there is no problem for merging. In merging, what needs to be done? In merging, just it will simply merge the two record and it will become one. And if you have suppose 5 candidates, then out of 5 it will create one master and 4 will be loser. So in merging, there is no kind of complex logic there. We have only complex logic while defining the match rule. Okay. So once we do the actual development in the project, we spend more and more time while defining the match rule. But this will be the typical task, okay? Because you will define 10 or 15 or 20 match rules, and you have to make sure that all the scenario is covered. And if something wrong candidates are coming, then how we can handle that? So most of the time we have spent means more and more time here. And in merging, if you have selected match candidate, just you can run the match, it will go through auto merge and you can do some manual merge for few candidates. So that is not a typical task. So we have saved this. So now what to do? Let's try to create some test data and then so that we can understand this. For that, let's come to data managers. We can directly create some test data in data manager. And we have to make sure that before running the match rule tokenization, it should have the consolidation indicator 4, okay? So that it can go for matching. Nah? So this is 4, that is fine. Let's see the name. Name is Naveen and Shiva. And we have defined our logic. The department name should be same. That means department code should be same, but name could be slightly match. Name could maybe it will not match completely. It could slightly match. Okay, because on the name we have taken the fuzzy strategy. So let's define a few more data, this data. Let's give here 300 and customer name. Let's take, suppose by mistake for Naveen, someone given NAVIN, Naveen A. Okay, and the address is, let's take, no matter what address we are taking, because you have not added address column in our rule, so it will not check this. This will not check mobile number. Yes, this will check the department code. So department code it should exactly match. Okay, so I'm taking 1. What error we are getting? I think I had enabled the unique constraint yesterday. Let me disable it. So we can go here on base subject table. And here we can disable the unique constraint so that the department ID can have the duplicate value. Now again we can go to data managers. Let's create few test data. So suppose for Naveen, I am taking Naveen A or Naveen K. Naveen like K, okay? Address suppose Delhi, mobile number 123, and department code I am taking 1. Okay. So one record got added, this one, and here you always have to see the last provided system in source system. Okay. So in base subject it will show sys0, but if you see the system name in cross reference table it will show admin. So both are same. Okay, don't confuse sys0 and admin. So if you create any record directly, so by default the source system it will take admin and sys0. So we have this record set. Now let's create some record for Shiva also. So for Shiva, what we are doing, let's take 400 and let's take Shiva and suppose again Chennai, mobile number, let's take 123 test, and I'm taking a department code as 1 because this Shiva have department code 2, so I'm taking 1. So department code should exactly match. So although the name is same, but department code is different, so ideally this Shiva record should not match, right? As per our understanding. Name is same, but department code is different. So this should not match. We should get match candidate for this because department code is same and name is slightly matching. So let's see how many tokens we are getting and how it is behaving. So we have few test data now and all having the consolidation indicator 4. Now we can go to batch viewer and here you can select your procedure by procedure type for easy understanding, and you can select by table. Okay. So you want to go with table, so within table this all procedure will show. Okay. Else you can select by procedure type. Okay. So here we want to run the tokenization because already we have data in base subject and we want to generate token first. Why we want to generate tokens? Because this time we have created the fuzzy match. That's why we want to generate the token. And if in yesterday, what we had done, yesterday we had defined the exact match. So as you know that for exact match, no need to generate the match tokens, tokenization job, okay? So where is the tokenization job? See here, generate match tokens, okay? So for CV cust, okay? So let's try to run this. Exact match, execute batch, and here the tokens are generating. Here we can see record tokenized 4. Why? Because we had 4 record in our base subject. Here we saw we had 4 record. Okay. So now this tokenization job has executed. So now you should go in STRP table. You remember we had listed this STRP table earlier. So this child table will maintain tokenization details. Okay. So basically for each row ID object, we will see that it will generate SSA key and SSA data. Okay. So let me see if we have here a dirty token or not. Let's go to base subject table, and here I want to see dirty token indicator. Where is that? CM dirty indicator is there. Do we have dirty indicator also? No, I think it's a CM dirty indicator only. Okay. So see earlier it was
No,
one.
we have Abhishek. Beside that,
This one. Okay, okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so I was searching for this. So now this will play a role in while running the tokenization job. Okay. So this we can refresh, and we got 4 data because these 2 data we created from the data manager. Okay. And if we see the dirty indicator for this how we should need to find. Versus CM dirty indicator. Okay, dirty indicator is still null. So ideally it should dirty indicator in BO table 1 means tokenization has not been done. Okay. 0 means tokenization has been done. So actually in the previous version it was behaving like that. I think something has been changed in this 10.1 version. So earlier what was happening, this had the two value, 1 and 0. So it was changing from 0 to 1 means, sorry, if tokenization will complete, then it will change to 0, means tokenization has been done. And if it is 1, that means no tokenization has been executed, okay? So ideally this value should be there, this two value, but here we can see it is having a still null, that indicator is still null. Although already we have executed the tokenization job. Let's see first strp table, because in strp we'll see what contents we have, then we'll come here. Because after running tokenization, strp table is a very important table which will give the details of tokenization. So where is that? cvcust match xref, this smrg hist, this we have pmcust cvcust dirty, cvcust control. Let's
In
try.
below we have Abhishek. It's alphabetically. So cbcust pxref. Below that we have cbcust strp. Here this one. This above
Oh,
that. Yeah.
got it.
Above.
Got it. Disarrange. Okay. Here we have, right, correct. Thanks. So here we have to focus on the two column. For each, base object, we can see some token has been generated. For each base object, okay, some token has been generated. So here this SSA key will be completely special character data which will be generated by MDM. That means generating the tokens key, and it will also change the data. So it will change data like that. So we don't have any control over here. So it will change data as per the algorithm defined. So for each, we can only track the data on the basis of this row ID object. Because this row ID object, we can go in a base object and we can see the details of the data, okay? So for a specific row ID object, it will generate the SSA key and SSA data. So here we can see it has generated only one tokens. Like for each row ID object, we have only one tokens, okay? So we will try to change the configuration of generating the tokens, and you can see, we will see that it will generate more tokens, okay? Here preferred indicator is 1 1 1. So what will happen? Suppose for this row ID object, now if it will generate 3 tokens, so for 2 it will preferred indicator will be 0, and for 1 it will be 1. So out of multiple token, it will have a preferred indicator 1 for one tokens, and for other remaining tokens of that record, it will have the preferred indicator 0. That means first it will try to find the match on the basis of this preferred preferred key data, whatever there in SSA key and SSA data. If it will not find candidate, then it will go for other preferred indicator data. So let's change the configuration. Let's try to get more data. And also let me, actually here we have added our customer name very small, right? So if you will have less character, now it will generate less tokens. So let's try to change it so that we will have more characters. So suppose let's take, give this name as Naveen Kumar C, something like that. I'm changing the data. This one also, let's make Naveen Kumar SING. H I have not given, SING only I have taken. And for Shiva, let's Shiva, I'm taking Patel. And this Shiva, I want to take PAT only, not I'm taking L, na? It's just partially matching. Because this name should partially match, we have to find the probable. If I give exact, then we know that it will behave like the exact. So
Abhishek, can you take one example? Can I tell you? Siva, Patel, then space, one is space, and one is without space. So just I want to check.
Yeah, what should I take? Tell me.
Yes.
Siva, Patel, a space.
Yes, and yeah, and second is not without space. So
no, see while matching now, this space will be ignored. It will do trim automatically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that thing no need to worry. Okay. So no need to worry on this. See, if you are saving, also it is removing the space.
Why reason is asking? Sometime the customer fill the record as space.
Right, that is true. But here, see, This if we come again to edit this record, again that space gone. So MDM will trim that space value by default before and after. Okay, in between that it will maintain. So,
Okay,
so here we have PATE and here we have PATEL and our yeah. So department code should match, right? Just a minute. Reload. So if you are creating some test data, so we have to make sure that, okay, name is probably matching, but department should be same. So for this, Naveen, Kumar, Singh, and this, yeah. So this time we are expecting that we should get some match candidate for Naveen. Because name is partially matching, but code is perfectly matching. But for Siva, department code is not matching. So we are not supposed to get tokens for that. So let's see, because we have added more character in name. So, okay, this is done. Now let's come to a strategy here, match merge strategy. And in match columns, let's take here extended to get the more tokens. Okay. So in extended, it will generate the more tokens. So we are taking extended here. And here also we are taking the extreme. So let's save it. So now we are increasing the probability of generating more tokens. So let's go and run the batch viewer. So let's click on the retokenize because already we had some tokens. So it will again retokenize the existing data. So for 4, let's come to STRP table. See, now we have lots of tokens. Okay. So we understood like why we have lots of tokens, because we have changed our strategy to generate more tokens, right? Let me arrange it. So like for one record here, we can see for this is Naveen Kumar Singh. We have how many tokens? 10 tokens. Okay. But out of these 10 tokens, if you see that preferred indicator, we need to see preferred indicator is only having 1 for 1 data, and for others it will have 0. So out of multiple tokens, preferred indicator will be marked 1 for 1. That means this record will be preferred to find the match candidate first. And if it will not find match, then it will take the other tokens to find the match candidate. Okay. So here we will have this SSA key and SSA data, and here we need to remember, here we will have the preferred key indicator. That is very important. That is called preferred key indicator. Preferred key underscore indicator will have value 1 for 1 base token. Okay, as per MDM, and rest tokens will have value 0. Okay, so this 3 column is important in the STRP. So here we can see the same, right? For others also, if you see, like for Siva Patel, we can see less candidate. Why? Because in Siva Patel, the number of character in the name is less. Okay, but in Naveen Kumar Singh, the number of character is more. That's why it will generate the more tokens. Okay, and in Siva Patel is still we are getting 3. Earlier we got 1, but the number of characters is less. That's why it is less than Naveen. So here from this, for this also you see preferred indicator only 1 for 1 record, others having the 0. So these tokens we got, lots of token we got this time. Okay. Now after getting the tokens, what needs to do? Still we have not got the matching candidate. Okay. So now we need to, let me remove records from MTCH. So that we don't have record in MTCH. That's good. Let's remove the record from here also, so that we can understand this scenario. So after running the tokenization job, you should remember there should not be any change in the consolidation indicator. Okay. So the note is, after running tokenization job, there should not be there should not be any change in consolidation indicator. Okay, always remember that, because this is a helping process for matching. So once you are defining the fuzzy match, then it is helping a fuzzy match rule, that before fuzzy match, it will generate tokens. So in place of matching the record, for getting the better performance, it will say that please match the tokens, don't match the entire record. So
So if we add any record after that, so it will give error or it will give a wrong result.
add means
Means we have added a new record after running the tokenization process.
so that record will not participate in matching, because that record has not been tokenized. So the record which is available in this strp table, that only participate in matching, because that
Okay.
record only have our the tokens. Okay, so these records which will be available in means strp table, here that row id object will only participate in the matching. Okay, so other records will not be impacted. So let's go to batch viewer, and now we have to run the match. Okay, where is the match? Auto match and merge. So this will auto match and merge. So we have to run the match job separately. Manual match. This one job. Okay. Customer. Let's run this. We have to select the match rule set. So we don't receive any match candidate. Why? We are not able to find any match candidate still. After having this much tokens, we have not found any match. If we go in MTCS table, we will not find anything. Okay. And if we go in this base subject table to see the consolidation indicator, so see the consolidation indicator has been changed for all record to 2. That means match process done. Now these records are ready for merging. Okay, but we don't have any match candidate. So what is the reason? At least as per our strategy, we should get for this the department code was same, and this was partially matching, so we should get some kind of tokens. Let's see our match rule. So match sector, match columns. Let's see whatever we have taken. So in match rule, we are taking here person name. We are taking person name and department name. Okay, this department name is exact. Here it is showing, and this person name is fuzzy. Okay, so let's go back in column and let's see whatever we have defined. This person name we have taken only customer name, that is fine, and department name is exactly, department name, see what it is showing. Department name we have taken these columns. Why it is showing these columns? Okay, yesterday I think someone has changed. Okay, see we can see our mistakes, right? So in department name,
That department is for exact, but I think we are working on fuzzy.
no, so in let me see here. Here we have to see what value you have taken. So these two value will be considered for matching. So here we have taken department name. Okay, so we have to see what value we have mapped in department name here. Okay, department name, you can see we have mapped the customer ID and customer name. So basically it will check the customer ID and customer name, right? So that
department code.
Yeah, so we have to remove it. Maybe someone yesterday had changed while doing the practice. So let's take department code here. Okay, so we are expecting the department name, we should have the department code. Okay, on the basis of this we have created some test data. Now let's save it. So if your match rule will not work like this, so we have to means debug back. And as Ashish, you told, like department name or department why we are taking, although this is exact. So because this is fuzzy rule, so in fuzzy you can take all you can select any columns. All that column could be exact or that column could be fuzzy. So here it is saying that this column has been selected from the exact column. That is fine. That means it will exactly match. That means what we want, the department of the customer should completely match 100%, but name could probably match. Okay, this is our strategy. So let's save it again. So here it is saying, would you like to reset the existing matches? Because we have changed our match rules. So yes. So again, you need to run the match rule. So if here we can see the consolidation indicator was 2. If we have reset, let's see, it changed to 4. Okay. So what will happen once you will change your match rule, then click yes to reset match candidate. Okay, so it will change consolidation indicator. It will change consolidation indicator to 4 from 2. Okay, earlier it got 2. Why? Because after running the match job, it got 2. But once we change something in our match rule, and once we click yes, then what will happen? All the match candidate will be removed, and it will be reset. Although we don't have match candidate like we saw in the previous example, but yes, we saw that our this consolidation indicator was changed to 2. So if consolidation indicator is 2, then again you cannot match that record, right? That means that record can only be consolidated alone as a master record if there is no candidate. So we cannot review that record for matching. So for resetting the status of that record, we click yes. So once you change match schedule here, always try to reset so that we can find the fresh candidate. Okay. So now we can refresh, and now these all records are ready for finding the tokens. Now we have rectified our match rule. Now again, let's go and run the, let's see is anything change in the STRP or not. Okay, so this STRP table will also reset. So once you will click yes, then this will change, and underscore is STRP table will reset, and records will be deleted for that match rule. As you know that in STRP, whatever data is going, it is going for a specific match rule, right? So for that match rule, data in STRP table will also be reset if we are resetting the match rules. So we don't have any data here in STRP table. Here we can see we don't have any data now. We don't have any data in MTCH also if we come here. Okay. So now let's try to run the tokenization first before the matching, because first we have to generate the tokens, then we can run the match. So here I'm running this.
So can you repeat again this SRTP, STRP?
Yeah. So once you change your match rule, then it will ask option, do you want to reset your match candidates or not? Okay. So if you click on yes, then it will reset the match candidate, and that means the consolidation indicator of the record will change from to 2 from sorry, it will change to 4 from 2. So once earlier you had run the match job, then consolidation indicator has been changed to 2 for all the record which went through the match process. Okay. Now we have changed the matching rule, and again we want that those records should participate in the matching process. So we have to change the consolidation indicator for record from 2 to 4. Okay. So either we can do manually update it, or we can just click on yes, and MDM will just update that. So we had clicked on yes, so MDM has just updated to 4 for all the record. Okay. And the second part is the STRP table. So if you click yes, then this STRP table will reset. That means whatever candidates we had generated, that candidate will be deleted, and we need to regenerate the tokens again. Okay. So that means if you are changing the match rule, so this change will happen in base object, and this strp table will be deleted. So we have to regenerate the tokens. These two things will happen. Okay. So once you will change your match rule, then click yes to reset match candidate. Then these two things will happen. The first thing is that it will change consolidation in BO table. In BO table. And the second point is this. Okay. HTRP table will reset and records will be deleted from that match for that match. Okay, now we are going to regenerate the match tokens again. Okay, so for that, come here and execute batch. And here we can see why the match tokenization is 0. Let's see the data. This is base subject table data. So this consolidation indicator is 4. So this should participate in matching, and have a state indicator also 1. This looks fine. So data wise, it's looking fine. It should participate, but why it is not generating the match tokens? Okay, so maybe earlier we had already generated. So let's try to click on regenerate match tokens if we are getting anything. So if we have executed match job, tokenization job one time on the base object, then we have to always check box that the regenerate option while running second time, so that it can regenerate the tokens. So this time you can see some tokens have been generated for these 4 records. Now we can go to strp table, same like earlier. Here, and see, same like earlier, we have lots of tokens now. Like for this record, we have these. For this record, I have these. Now for Naveen Kumar, we have lots of, because number of character in the name is higher. Okay, now we have tokens ready, and now we can run the match job. Match job, this one match job. So if you have only one match rule set now, so no need to select it. It will automatically take the default one, whatever available. Okay.
Abhishek, I have a question.
Yeah.
So can one single person generate multiple token at the same time?
Yeah. So here you can see for one person, Naveen Kumar Singh, SING. Okay. We are having that much tokens, around 9 to 10 tokens.
Each one on a unique ID. Yes.
Yeah. So this is means generated by MDM. So whatever configuration we have done now, you remember we had stressed the configuration to we have told MDM that please generate more tokens after changing these details. If you remember, here we have changed the details. We have made extended. Okay. So in case of extended, we know it will generate more tokens, right? And it will try to find the more candidate also, because here you have taken the extreme. Okay. So these two is very important in tokenization and match. Always these two things we have to keep in mind, like whatever value you are selecting, it can impact your tokenization and match candidate. Okay.
Okay.
So this we had changed. That's why we are getting lots of candidate. That is fine. Now we can run the match process and we can see, are we getting any matching or not? I think this one I have already executed. Let me see. What happened? Basically, this is empty, or there is no. I think this we have already executed 9:57, few minutes back. So no need to run it again, because this if you go in base subject, and if you see the consolidation indicator, already changed too. That means the record already passed through with the matching process. Okay, because tokenization will not impact this. Always remember this. So this record already passed with the tokenization and match. Okay. Now we can go to MTCS table that have we received any match records or not. See, so if you see here, it is saying that queue for auto merge. We received some matching current. That's why here we are getting that record went for auto merge. And that auto merge, why? Because in match rule we have taken yes, it should go for auto merge. Okay. If you want to see the match candidate, then you can go in MTCH table here. This table is saying that record this and this is matching. Okay. And this is the, I think, match rule. Yeah. So there is a table that is called C repose match rule. There you can go and you can find the match rule name. This value is coming from there. Okay. So here we can see that this and this is matching. Okay. This we can see from here also. Yesterday we saw from merge manager. If you go, so for Naveen Kumar SING, we are getting one match candidate whose name is see, this is SINGH and this is SING, partially matching, right? Not 100%, but department is department code 1, and this one also have department code 1. Department code 100% matching, but name is partially matching. So we got a match candidate. Okay, if you have the match candidate, then it will show in this match box. Otherwise, if you select here, we are not getting anything, because for the Siva Patel, we not found any match candidate. Okay, for this also we found same, like if you say 1 is matching with 2 or 2 is matching to 1, the same, the statement is same, right? So it is saying again that Naveen Kumar Singh matching Naveen Kumar Singh, but for Siva you will not find any match candidate. Okay, so match candidate we got as per our expectation, that we expected that the department code should exactly match, and if the customer name is probably matched, then we should find some match candidate. So that is working fine. And also we can see here the consolidation indicator of the record is 2. Already we saw, right? Now let's try to merge and let's see what is happening. Okay, so how we can merge? We can merge
Abhishek, before merging, means after running the match process, the STRP process will be STRP table will be truncated.
Yes.
sorry, what please come again.
No, like we have the process of merging, and after merging, match table will get truncated. So I am asking, is it same for match and STRP also?
Yeah, STRP, I think the data will still be there, but once you run the tokenization job next time, then it will truncate and rebase.
Okay,
So
okay. So
this
match
will not
process
be
will
impacted.
not
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, because we saw that match is already done, but still we have data. Okay. So
Okay.
match will not delete after matching, the data will not be deleted here, but if you are running the tokenization next time and we select the regenerate tokens, then that will be truncated and tokens will be regenerated. Okay, na?
Yeah. Okay.
So now let's run the merge job. So okay, so our actually data should go should merge through the auto merge process. Okay, so auto merge process here we have. Here we can see we have the auto merge process. Okay, so just we need to run the auto merge process and it will merge these two candidates. So still running. So here auto merge record 1, that is fine. Now let's come here. See, this is not impacting, na? So after merging, if you have doubt, let's keep a note. So after running merge job, STRP table will not be impacted. STRP table will not be impacted. Okay. And now let's see the consolidation indicator of the records. We can come to base subject now. Why the consolidation is still 2? Okay, let me see that. Okay. Yeah, that is correct. Consolidation is 2 for 3 record. Let me explain this. So here for 3 record, you are still showing consolidation indicator 2, because out of this 3, only 1 record went through the auto merge, not all 3. Okay. So if we come here in data manager, basically, data manager, let's see these records. So we have 3 records and the consolidation indicator is 3, because these records did not find any match candidate. So this record not went for the merging process. But why we are getting here? Okay, this is a cross reference. Okay, so here don't get confused, because this is the not matching candidate is a cross reference, because we are using the data manager. So for this record, we can see we have multiple. Yeah.
Can you go second column, sorry, key sources?
Yeah, this is PPSRC object.
Yeah, please. Okay.
This is coming from a stage table. And if you directly create data from here from data manager, then that will be generated by MDM itself.
Auto-generate, okay.
Yeah, auto generate. Yeah. So here for this record, we can see three PKSRC objects. That means first time the record came from CRM. If you see the last update data, then we will be able to study. So on 24 November 10:02 AM, some update has happened. And here on the same date, 9:38, some update has happened, and then 10:02:35, some update has happened. So maybe we have let's see the actually this is last update is the last update date of the XRF when some update has happened. This is from source. So this record we got on December 30, 2015 here through the CRM source. Okay. Then again on 24 November 9:38 12 AM, some update we have done through the admin. That means from the data manager. And again at 9:38 we have done some update. Okay. That's why it is showing the three records. If you update this record again through this option, then it will show the 4 record for this record. So, okay. So in XRF, basically, if something you are changing, then that change will be reflected here. If you are updating or if you are changing, and if you are enabling that, so here in change it is maintaining the PKSRC object also, right? So later, if you want to see how this record came from that stage table, you can take PKSRC and you can go to a stage table and you can drill down. But in a base object, as you know, that no PKSRC object here, so we cannot track back record to a stage layer. That's why for every data insert or update, one record will be maintained in the XRF. But don't misunderstand that this is acting as a history. So this is not acting as a history for base object. Because for if you want to configure the history configuration for base object, then yesterday I saw we have to enable the history checkbox for the base object. Then there will be a history table will be created for base object, and all the transaction of base object will be backed up in that history table. Insert or update. Okay. Okay, so that is fine. So here, if we are selecting this, then again we are getting two candidates because some update we had done. Let me search one column here that is called row ID source. So here also you can see Siva Patel, the name has been taken from this source, from admin source, and that Bangalore address has been taken and the department code has been taken from the other source for becoming the master. So this bold value means it is having the higher trust. That's why it is showing the bold value. And Ashish told that how it is taking the admin value, trust value. So let's come here, system and trust. And here you can see for customer name, sorry, for this table, for customer name, we have already defined that if value is coming from this source, then it should take a trust value like that. And if it is coming from admin, it should take like that. Okay, so we have defined this value, and on the basis of this, it is taking the value, trust value, if the data is coming from admin, and if the data is coming from CRM, then on the basis of this configuration, it is taking the data. Okay. So we have taken 95 for admin. So here you can see for customer it is taking 95 because this data came through the admin source. Now let's come to merge manager here. Just a minute, let me reload. I want to show one thing. Okay, so we have to see the HMRG table because merge has already been done. So we are not able to find more details here. So if we come to MTCH, no data because here you can mark MTCH will be deleted. So if we do merging of that some record, then that record will be that merge candidate record will be deleted. Okay, from the MTCH table. So that we can see here, this got deleted. Now we can go to HMRG. So in HMRG, we can see we have one record here. We have to keep two things in mind. Like yesterday, we saw source and target. This got merged with this, and this become the winner. So now, yeah, so this become the winner 8001. So Now this record should not show in our base object. Okay. So if we come to data manager here and if we see reload, so we are not able to see this record 4003. 4003 is not there. Why? Because it got merged with this. Okay. So now if you click on this 8001, then we will be able to see here one important column that is called original row ID object and row ID object. Okay. So here you can see original row ID. Here just focus on these two columns, row ID object and original row ID object. Okay. So for this record, so what it is saying, we have 3 entry, and for all the 3 entities saying row ID object is 8001 8001. Why? So for one record, once there was a only single record, then it had this entry. It will always be same. Like if you see for this 8002, so original row ID object and this will be same. Okay. If there is a single entry, but if some merging will happen, then what will happen? Or suppose if some update has happened, like this record, it's 4004, it came through 2 different sources from CRM and through admin, we had done some update. So we can see for this record, if we see that original row ID object and row ID object, this is same. That means, just a minute, what's the name? Patel. 4004 and 4004 is same, but why it is saying 8004 and this one? I think some merge had happened, we have not deleted that. Ideally, yeah, we have not deleted our XREF table on the basis of that, because this is a cross-reference instance. This data is basically coming from cross-reference table. Okay. So earlier, yesterday looks like we had done some matching for Siva, and we had not deleted that record in the cross-reference. That's why it is showing like that. Ideally, if in the current match rule, we saw that there was no matching for Siva, so we should not have this record 8004 for this, right? So we are expecting only there should be one entry. This is entry for yesterday. So we have not deleted the cross-reference, that way is showing the yesterday data. So in normal case, we will have one entry and the row ID object and original row ID object will be same. But if some merging happened, then this interesting thing will come in picture. So here you can see, hello. Let me pause the record.